It began like any other flight, a red-eye departure barely noticed among the hum of an international airport that never sleeps. Gate announcements, tired families, boarding calls echoing off the walls. Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 lifted into the night sky just after midnight, slicing through the darkness en route to Beijing. 239 souls on board, some on business, some returning home, some beginning new chapters of life. By sunrise, they were supposed to be touching down on the tarmac. Instead, the world woke up to silence. The aircraft was gone. No distress call, no emergency beacon, just gone. And what followed would become one of the most perplexing, confounding aviation mysteries in modern history. A mystery that remains unsolved to this day. It was March 8, 2014. At 12:41 a.m., MH370 departed from Kuala Lumpur International Airport. A Boeing 777-200ER, a plane known for its reliability and state-of-the-art engineering. Everything appeared normal. The aircraft climbed to 35,000 feet. The skies were clear. The handoff from Malaysian to Vietnamese airspace was routine. At 1:19 a.m., a voice from the cockpit crackled over the radio. Calm, professional. "Good night, Malaysian 370. And that was it. 2 minutes later, MH370 vanished from civilian radar. One moment, a blip. The next, nothing. No signal, no warning, no crash report. Just silence. At first, no one panicked. Controllers assumed a glitch, a miscommunication. Maybe the handoff to Vietnam had been delayed. Maybe the signal was momentarily lost. But minutes turned to hours, and concern turned to dread. By morning, MH370 had failed to arrive in Beijing. The arrival board still listed the flight as delayed, but in the waiting area, families were crying. Phones rang unanswered. Eyes stared at screens waiting for any update, any sign. There was none. The plane had disappeared, and with it, 239 people. And so began the largest and most expensive search in aviation history. Just when investigators thought the mystery couldn't grow deeper, it did. Military radar, independent of the civilian system, revealed something astonishing. After vanishing from radar, the plane had made a sharp U-turn. It flew back over the Malay Peninsula, veered northwest, and continued across the Andaman Sea. There was no communication, no transponder signal, but the plane was still flying. Hours later, a silent digital handshake between the aircraft and a communications satellite confirmed the impossible. MH370 had continued flying for nearly 6 more hours, into the vastness of the southern Indian Ocean, one of the most remote places on Earth. No one knew if anyone was alive on board. Who was flying the aircraft, or why? Search efforts moved westward, far from the original flight path, to a desolate patch of ocean off the coast of Western Australia. Sonar scans, underwater drones, satellite reanalysis. The effort spanned years. Nations joined hands. Billions were spent. And still the ocean kept its secrets. Then, in July 2015, a breakthrough. A piece of a wing, a flaperon, washed ashore on Réunion Island, thousands of miles from the last known location. It was part of MH370. Other fragments followed. Bits of fuselage, interior panels, washed up on beaches in Mozambique, Madagascar, and Tanzania. But that was all. The engines, the black boxes, the bodies, never found. With so few answers, theories filled the vacuum. Some experts believe the aircraft suffered a catastrophic failure. A fire, perhaps, or a sudden decompression. The crew may have been incapacitated. The plane, guided by autopilot, flew until it ran out of fuel. Others point to darker possibilities. Deliberate sabotage, a controlled flight into oblivion. Investigators discovered that the pilot had plotted a similar path on a home flight simulator. Was it premeditated? No one knows. Hijacking? Terrorism? No demands, no claims of responsibility. And then, there are the fringe theories. Cyber attacks, military intervention, hidden cargo, cover-ups. Theories abound, but facts remain scarce. And without the wreckage and without the black boxes, No theory can be proven. In the years since, aviation protocols have changed. Aircraft are now required to report their positions more frequently. Satellite tracking has improved. The skies are, in theory, safer. But for the families, safety protocols are cold comfort. They still wait. They still wonder. They light candles. They hold vigils. They fight for answers from governments that have given up searching. And every time new debris washes ashore, hope rises and is quickly swallowed again by silence. Flight MH370 is no longer just a flight number. It's a wound. A question that refuses to fade. A reminder that even in an age of satellites, data, and global connectivity, a modern aircraft can still vanish. Somewhere in the depths of the Indian Ocean, beneath miles of cold, crushing water, the truth still lies waiting. A silent tomb, a cockpit voice recorder, a final answer, frozen in time. Until that truth is found, we're left with only fragments, echoes, and a haunting question that may never be answered. What really happened to Flight MH370? What do you think? Drop your theories in the comments below.